Friday night before Christmas, the right time to talk about smartphones and which ones are the best this year. So let's start with this little vlog and talk and my ranking system of smartphones. Everyone I notice is doing this ranking systems because are getting bored about MKBHD, Mr. Who's the Boss, and some others who are doing the ranking system since years, and it's always the same. And if you take a look at the Super Saf video about what those big YouTubers are using as their daily drivers, it's almost always the same. So no wonder that certain smartphones are flying under the radar, under their radar. So yeah, there are of course some exceptions, but not coming from the biggest YouTuber, but hopefully soon the biggest YouTuber, one of the biggest YouTubers. Not me, I'm talking about the average dad. Mike is doing a fantastic job, not only in offering us good prices for smartphones from China, import prices, not only those Chinese models, but also the global models from Malaysia, especially, that are rocking as well, especially now that the hardware differences between Europe and Malaysia for global devices is becoming bigger and bigger. And by the way, Huawei devices, so if you're interested in Huawei devices, Mike has you covered on the Average Dad Tech Store. A little bit of an ad, he's not paying me for doing this, just because this is something that changed a little bit. But there are others. There's Wonder Mobile, there's Trading Shenzhen, also very good partners when it comes to getting stuff quick and being affordable, and also great support as well. So yeah, this out of the way, let's talk about some of the phones. Huawei phones especially are also getting a special mention here, because I'm recording this here with the Pura 80 Ultras 1-inch type sensor. Hopefully in the night. I noticed this is the best one that you can ever get, and I don't have any external mic, just the internal mics of this one here. Let's see, the bridge is blocked, so I have to go somewhere else. Let's just see there. Can even go to 3.7 times, getting a bit darker, but you can still see that for some reason the bridge is blocked to the usual Citadel place that I'm going, so I have to take another walk here. Let's talk about the best camera smartphone first, because this is obvious. You can see the ranking list that I have done. I didn't check every phone out that came out this year, especially the second part of this year, because I was on vacation. I didn't have the chance to check out the Oppo Find X9 Pro yet. The Vivo X300 Pro you saw already. The Magic 8 Pro you see already on the list. There's a reason why it's not yet in a video. The videos are done already, I can tell you so far about it. Next year. That's all I can say about that. And when it comes to those devices, it's obvious Vivo X200 Ultra is crowned king. I bought it when I was in China, May this year, and it's really one of the best phones for cameras overall. But I'm not using it for recording this video here, because it has smaller kind of sensors and it's not so good at nighttime. So it has some downsides. It's not the perfect device for everything when it comes to recording stuff. But can we find a new friend? Maybe not. But it is the best overall for photography. Super good ultra wide angle. Super good also for vlogging. Not always, because it has a bit of issues with video, but it's still one of the best out there. And main camera sensor 35mm, a good 35mm. There are others like Nubia is also doing and pioneering 35mm since a few years, but they're always with the processing lacking a little bit behind. The Z60 Ultra did it great. The Z60 Ultra leading edition went into a direction that I didn't like so much, and the 70 also. The 80 I didn't have the chance to check out yet, but if I have the chance to check out, I will definitely test it out. But for photography especially, Nubia is almost killing it. There's only one who's had a better tele zoom sensor for most of the part, and this is the one that I'm filming here with right now. This is why they are so close together there. It's just the ultra wide angle is way worse here. Front facing camera is way better. Video recording is a little bit better, I would say, here on the Pure 80 Ultra, but extra features. Vivo is like killing it with extra features. So if you even have by default maybe a little bit worse video, you have the ability to tweak it to your liking. So I cannot set 25 frames per second here that I want to record in these dark conditions eventually. I can do on the Vivo. I have log recording also on the Pura, not on the global, but on the Chinese version that I have here. I have also the ability to record log if I want to. The Vivo now has the ability to burn in LUTs immediately onto 4K 30 streams. Not possible with the Pura, for example. More flexibility that you get with the Vivos, plus this tele extender thing that is a bit crappy, I have to say. Especially the case. When I was in China, I had the chance to meet up with Mark Victorson. If you don't know, his channel is also very, very nice. You have to have some subtitles enabled because he's talking in Russian there. But if you have subtitles enabled, he's also getting very insightful when it comes to cameras and videos. So another channel that I can highly recommend you to watch. I had the chance to meet Mark, and before I bought my Vivo X200 Ultra, I was checking out his, and he had the photography kit. And yeah, really, if you really blow a bit hard on the case, it has really this flimsy, cheapy kind of feeling. Hopefully, I heard so, they improved it on the X300 Pro. So this is probably the device that you should get if you want the photography kit, not the X200 Ultra, even though it might be a bit cheaper, but you get really a cheap case. The lens is fine, the lens is fantastic, and I don't think they changed the lens at all from coming from the X200 Ultra to the X300 Pro. But yeah, this is the best in terms of photography. Videography not so much, but the best overall camera smartphone of 2025 is the Vivo X200 Ultra. Still, it's not the X300 Pro. Nope. They have too many issues still that the X200 Ultra doesn't have. Even if they would fix it, I don't think it would rival the X200 Ultra so much because of the large ultra wide angle where it cannot win. Now I stop recording because some cars are passing by and we go to the next category. Now let's come to another category, the best foldable phone of 2025, and this is no, not the sun. The light blinding me, but it shouldn't blind you. It was a hard decision. We had very good foldable phones this year. Some of them that I didn't expect at all, like Samsung finally getting their ass off and making a slim foldable phone that can rival the Chinese manufacturers. Very good phone, but it's not the foldable phone of the year. The Oppo Find N5, the Honor Magic V5, very good foldables. The Huawei Mate X-T, the triple folding phone, very nice indeed, folding, very unique, but also very expensive kind of foldable phone. But what I really like about Huawei and what I crown the foldable phone of this year is the Huawei Pura X, because they tried something new finally. Is it something completely new? The form factor kind of reminds me of the Oppo Find N2, but it is new in a way that it's working differently. The intention on how to use it, if you never saw it, here are some pictures. It is a combination of flip and foldable phone. So you get a 16:10 aspect ratio, ideal for watching videos. You get roughly the same surface area that you need, or the same that you see when you have a Samsung or on a Magic foldable phone and watch a YouTube video on it, because they're mostly 16:9 and 16:10. From the size, even like 6.4 inch doesn't, or was it 6.5 inch, doesn't sound like that big. But because it is so wide, it's not only helping with visibility of websites, reading emails, but also typing, writing something with the keyboard. Granted, the keyboard needs a bit of improvement because this one is running in the Celia keyboard on Harmony OS Next or Harmony OS 6 now, and it's needs some improvement, but still the form factor was or is so unique and it's so addicting to use it that this is my favorite foldable phone of 2025, just because it is compact and it is large enough that I can do some serious work with it. It is not as big as the other big large foldables for viewing content, for example, but it's good enough in a pinch when you're outdoors where you want to still hold it in one hand, don't want a second hand. Yeah, some people have large enough hands that they can do it with the foldables, but the foldables are also light enough. But I wouldn't trust myself that they won't flip out my hands. So the Pura X foldable smartphone of the year. Yeah, not the fastest, it's my list. I do this list, so I can choose whatever I like. And this is what I like. You can argue with me and tell me, no, my Samsung is better because I bought it. Nope, it's not. The most unique form factor is winning here, and that's the Pura X. Especially for me, it is not the best form factor. I tried lots of foldables, so I can tell you indeed which one I like. I know now. So the next thing, someone was throwing trash away. How shitty is that? Just throwing trash on the ground here, middle of the city. Hopefully someone will take it somewhere, clean up. The next category is the category of best sounding phone. So the phone with the best speakers. We had already the best camera phone, but what people are missing out, and this is something that is best camera phone doesn't mean that it's best in everything and it's the best phone that you should get. You can also see my list of the phones that I tested this year and which one is the best in a long-term review. It's not the X200 Ultra. Yes, it's above there, but I didn't test so many phones for the long-term review, I have to say. Some of them I tested, some of them I only had the chance to test for 2-3 weeks or something like this, which is not enough for a long-term review, to call it long-term review, to get all the quirks and especially the update times and how reliable the manufacturer is in fixing bugs, such things, and improving the operating system. So the best camera phone is not always the best phone overall, and it's definitely not the best phone when it comes to speakers, because there the X200 Ultra is one of the worst flagship phones when it comes to flagship phones, when it comes to speakers. So the best for speakers is usually always Honor. But this year, honorable mention. Honorable mention, the Magic 7 series includes the 7 Pro, but also the 7 RSR. And yes, I can also include the 8 Pro. It has been released globally in Malaysia already. It's already released in China. There will be coming an ultimate version, maybe an RSR Porsche Design Edition version again. I'm not so sure about that. Probably will have the same speakers. So honorable mention, because we have one that beats them all this year, which is the Poco or slash Redmi. So in China it's Redmi K80 Ultra, and in the global market it's the Poco F8 Ultra that has the best, the Bose sounding speaker that is even better than what Honor is doing. Honor is doing lots of AI stuff to improve the speakers. But Xiaomi really kicked everyone's ass with the speaker on the Poco F8 Ultra. Definitely a device that I can highly recommend, even though I only hold it briefly in my hands. And yeah, sadly, Xiaomi or Poco is not sending one to me. If you're listening, Xiaomi, Poco, I really want one to test. It would be very cool to test it out, because the camera's also very decent, I heard, and I really want to rank it eventually in my camera system. Nevertheless, best speaker phone, the Poco F8 Ultra. The only one up there is the Honor Magic 7/8 series. The 8 even a little bit more, because it got a little bit more thumpy than the 7 series. Let's come to a category that I will call the most improved smartphone from a manufacturer. There are a few that come to my head. Some people might say even the iPhone, but usually, yeah, I'm not excluding iPhones, but runner up, let's say the iPhone 17, because they finally caught up to the rest of the market with 120 Hertz and some nice additions there. But no, it's an improvement finally, but it's not like the most improved smartphone of this year for sure. There's some other things that happened. Samsung Galaxy Fold 7 definitely improved a lot when it comes to certain things like the hinge, the thickness, the lightweightness of this device. But nope, it's also not that. It's actually a device that, yeah, really had some innovations going for it. In the last couple of years, we're kicking off some nice innovations, especially on the global market. AI comes to my head, certain features that they included. Silicon carbon batteries, that they were the first ones to really advertise and build into their phones before this year kicked ass with high capacity batteries. And yes, don't worry, we come to the capacity warrior as well at one point. But yeah, this award goes to one who perfectionized carbon silicon battery and the tech around it, like their own chip, for providing as low as possible power usage to the device on a level that can equal, rival, maybe beat sometimes Apple. And that's honor. Not with the Magic 7 series so much, but with the brand new Magic 8 series, especially the Magic 8 Pro right now. It is just amazing what they're able to do with this device and how much they improved from one year to another in almost every category. The display, always good, but this time they boosted the brightness even more without sacrificing all their eye safety features that they have, that are really fantastic and are really improving. Those people who suffer from such things, especially smartphone testers who are looking at the phone all day, have to check one phone, another one, having their eyes on display 24 hours almost, or as long as they're awake, almost every few seconds. It's not healthy, no. So the tag, at least if you have to use it or want to use it, should be eye friendly, and they really are eye friendly with this, and they're improving it further and further almost each release. But this time around they made things brighter, kept the nice eye friendliness, and added some other extra features. They improved the speakers again. They were one of the best speakers already, and if the Poco/Redmi K8 Ultra, Poco F8 Ultra weren't released, I would say this one has the best speakers, because easily they have one of the best speakers there. They don't always have the best AI, I would say, arguably, but AI, almost everyone is on the same level there. They're very good with AI and integrating AI into their operating system. This is not so much of a field where they had huge things to improve upon, but they improved other things, like the battery life, like I said. Silicon carbon, they were one of the pioneers of it, and they included the newest tech in there. Even though they don't have the largest battery capacity, they have very good runtimes for the battery. Not only, spoiler alert, on the Chinese version that has this large, over 7,100 milliampere hours, I think 7,200 milliampere hours, but also on the global version. I'm not talking about the 7,100 milliampere hour that we have in Malaysia as well. That is also a global version, and it's just 100 milliampere hours difference. It's hard to notice a difference between those two. But also in the European global version with, what is it, 6,500 something milliampere hours, 6,520 milliampere hours. So yeah, 800, 700 milliampere hours less. Still, they are able to provide a battery life that can rival Xiaomi 17 Pro Max with the 7500 milliampere hours, for example. So yeah, this is real optimization that they did there, hardware and software wise, and this is why I really like them. But not only that, what I was really impressed about it, and I didn't expect it, especially coming from the Magic 6 RSR to the Magic 7 Pro, that was disappointing in terms of cameras, my experience at least. The 8 Pro is finally fixing almost all the flaws and finally is catapulting Honor again to play around with the top there. So it's not like at the bottom anymore, like the Magic 7 series was. The 6 series was on the top but fall down because it came out with technology that was, yeah, pretty quickly outdated in a way, especially when Vivo came out with its 200 megapixel telezoom sensor. Anyway, I'm really surprised how good they optimized their camera systems. It's not the best, don't get me wrong with this, but they improved a lot. So much so that I would say they almost skipped 1 or 2 generations where everyone else, like take a look at the Oppo Find X8 Ultra and compare it to the Find X7 Ultra. Look at the changes there. Yeah, they are there, but they're marginal. You have to really look and search. On the Magic 8 Pro, you don't have to search for the changes. You immediately notice the changes. Sharper pictures, better exposure, not so goofy colors anymore, better video, more clear video. Lots and lots of stuff there that really improved on the Magic 8 Pro series that I really like, and this is why the award for the most improved smartphone of 2025 goes to the Honor Magic 8 Pro. Talking about good smartphones and battery life, there are a few candidates out there. The honorable mention for sure. There's the Xiaomi 17 Pro Max. However, Xiaomi, they even also have their own power chip. I think they're like 1 or 2 generations lacking behind what Honor is doing, what others are doing. And there's some others out there that have just gigantic batteries and good battery life. OnePlus 15, for example. The Oppo Find X9 Pro. Like I said, I didn't have the chance to test it out yet. And some others. So which one is a battery king of all of them? For me, I got very good results of the Xiaomi 17 Pro Max. I got very good results of the Vivo X300 Pro, Honor Magic 8 Pro. But in the end, for everything that I saw so far, and yes, I'm giving an award to a phone that I didn't have yet in my hands. I'm giving it to the Oppo Find X9 Pro. Because I'm trusting all the other reviewers that had it, and they're saying me it has better battery life than the OnePlus 15, has better battery life than the Xiaomi 17 Pro Max and the Honor Magic 8 Pro. And yes, I think the Honor Magic 8 Pro in general would have maybe the better battery life if it would have the same capacity battery, because the consumption of power that they have is lower than that what the Oppo has been doing or what the Oppo is delivering. Still, the Oppo is battery king here right now. Another honorable mention that I don't want to forget is the Nubia Z80 Ultra. They also bumped up to 7000 milliampere hours, I think it is there. Also very good battery life. Nubia also always had good battery life, and Nubia also improved the charging with its newest release. They finally added wireless charging, and it's not like any wireless 15-20 watt. It is like real fast wireless charging that they added there. They have already very fast wired charging, but they also improved a lot there when it comes to this. So yeah, shout out to Nubia as well. And Nubia, if you're listening, Z68 Ultra is still waiting to come to me eventually. So if you have the chance to send one unit over for testing, especially for the cameras, I would really love to do that as well. So I'm back home again. Really cold. I'm in my kitchen right now. I'm unloading the dishwasher, and I will tell you, yes, I'm combining video recording with real housework. We'll tell you about another category where I want to crown the winner this time around, and there's obviously, probably no doubt, the most innovative smartphone company this year. And there's some runner-ups like Xiaomi, for example. Smartphone company because they're not only creating smartphones, they are creating probably dishwashers and maybe fridges as well, but TVs and electric vehicles as well. Yeah, super interesting. And then they're expanding next year into the global market. So runner up definitely Xiaomi for that kind of thing. There's some others, honorable mention. Are there so much innovative kind of smartphone manufacturers anymore? Some might say Samsung eventually. They just have the trifold that they unfolded. I'm very skeptical. I wouldn't even call it runner up, to be completely honest, because the rest is not very innovative. The clear winner for me is also not Apple, because what did they do? Did they innovate something this year? They changed the design of the iPhone. That's not innovation, I would say. It has to be Huawei. It has to be Huawei. There's no other way around it for smartphone manufacturer. Yes, I know others are doing a great job and probably investing a lot of money, but the results speak for themselves. The phone that I'm recording with has a uniquely kind of double flip, remove the mirror around telephoto lens. It's just like, I should start working now. That is like very innovative on its own already. Then I told you about the best foldable phone this year, the Pura X actually. Also very innovative kind of stuff, I would say. And then there are some other things that they invented, like for example foldable laptops. I'm invented in quotation marks because there are others already out there, but none that could do it as good as Huawei did it this year. And on top of this, they building a new ecosystem for the new operating system, HarmonyOS. And HarmonyOS developed this year also very fast from version 5.0 to 6.0. That is very innovative, has lots of features that are very interesting, especially the AI features. Not on the global market, sadly, only on the Chinese market. But I was in China 2 times this year. I can tell you, if you see someone using it in Chinese, you think it's magic what it's doing. And it's a future that you can see already. Like you can tell it, hey, I have my top 3 most liked series on Netflix right now. Please download me the newest episodes so I can watch them on my flight back from China or from Germany to China, or from China to Germany, or something like this. And it will go into the app, searches for your favorites, the top 3 series. We'll see which one you watched already, and will download only the ones that you didn't watch in terms of episodes, and only the newest episodes. So it's really that clever. I translated it now over to the Western world, but you can just replace Netflix with any service that China has there, and it's working. That is the fantastic thing about this one. It is working. This is really great, where people are like saying, hey, we have this new AI image editing features where you can tell the AI what you want to edit, and it's editing this. Yeah, it's a gimmick. It's really a gimmick to try out how good AI is understanding you. But if you can tell AI exactly on your phone what to do, like, I want to travel to a place that I don't know yet. Like I did to travel to Malaysia this year. I want to travel to Malaysia, so Celia, or Shai, how it's called. Hopefully I didn't trigger it. Please give me the best times to fly there, search for the best tickets, buy them, ask me for confirmation about my credit card number or whatever, book a hotel for me that is fitting a plan that you put together, which would include the best things that you want to see at this season, at this time in Malaysia. And it would do everything with all the apps that you have installed on your phone. It would just go to all the apps that you have installed, like booking.com to book a hotel, like, I don't know, Flight Radar, whatever you're using, the Skyscanner, to book a flight ticket. It will also check out when the weather would be the best, when there's no rainy season, for example. Spoiler alert, I was of course flying in the rainy season. Doesn't matter, it just raining once a day. I survived, as you see. But yeah, it is possible with this AI. So even in AI, they did great innovation. That is putting everything together. Now they have the MateBook E. I also have the MateBook E, the old version with Intel CPU and Windows still running. But the new version is truly a combination of tablet and laptop. One major thing is not that the design is a bit more cleverer done. I think the design on the MateBook E was already very good, but they did it a bit more clever. They tweaked it a little bit to make it easier to hold on to as a tablet. But because they have this new innovative HarmonyOS operating system, because it's not only a tablet operating system, and not only a phone operating system, where the heck is this going? It is also, I don't know, it is also, no, it shouldn't be here. It is also a computer, a laptop operating system from this year on, because they introduced some laptops with it. Replacing Windows, replacing the Linux solutions that they have, replacing is maybe a harsh word, but adding something additionally, because they're selling still their laptops with Windows and Linux in the stores. So you can still get MateBooks with Windows or Linux, because yeah, HarmonyOS for PCs is a bit of, especially as it came out, limited in terms of applications, because it has, first of all, a limitation in terms of not all HarmonyOS apps that you have on your phone or tablet are optimized for the computer. And the second is all the emulation kind of stuff that you have. Android apps, for example, didn't run at first. Windows had an emulator, but it was running in a VM. It is not really possible to run those apps directly, or Linux applications. It would also benefit enormously, because they have a Linux distribution that they are very highly pushing on their tablets that is running very well. And they fixed some of the issues to the end of this year, so there's now Android app support for their computers with HarmonyOS as well. Very nice indeed. Wasn't expecting this, because I thought, well, they will keep it exclusive, but no, there's even Linux support now. So the app issues probably gone, not 100% gone, because I think they have to still, oops, this is still dirty, didn't clean, have to wash it again. The app support doesn't cover everything, every compatibility that is necessary to run high-class Windows games, for example, on HarmonyOS PCs, but they're getting there. And also their chips. They not only have to reinvent the wheel in terms of the operating system, but also their chips, and they're also managing this somehow and getting faster. The new Kirin 9030 Pro that is in the Mate 80 Pro and Mate 80 RS is also a lot quicker than the 9020 that I have here on my Pure 80 Ultra. So yes, I have to give it to Huawei. They invested so much money. They also invested in cars, by the way. They have the Aito lineup. They're not building the cars themselves, but the infrastructure around it, the operating system, the system, the interoperability with phones and everything else is done by Huawei. So I have to give this innovation award from a smartphone manufacturer definitely to Huawei there, because there's no one else coming even close when it comes to this. No one else coming close. I even have HarmonyOS running on TVs. I just almost forgot. It's an ecosystem that, if they would truly expand it globally, it would definitely take over, because it is rivaling Samsung and Apple for sure. Anyway, enough of the most innovative smartphone company. Now let's come to a bit of software. Let's come to the most the best operating system and user experience on a smartphone this year. And honorable mention is Huawei, Harmony OS. A built up new operating system with a microkernel. And this is, by the way, also fitting very nicely to the last category. Is just insane what Huawei is pulling off. Microkernels. If you ever had something to do with operating system, you know. I'm just telling you, GNU Hurt and others who failed miserably to get any microkernel system running. There are a few exceptions like QNX and some others that have real-time operating systems that have microkernels successfully running, but not on desktop computers so much. And that Huawei is trying to do this, and not only trying, succeeding actually to do this is, BlackBerry 10 was the last successful microkernel in the consumer business market outside of what you have as infotainment system in your car right now. Anyway, it's not Harmony OS, it's an honorable mention. Harmony OS is doing fine, it's doing good, it's doing great, it's going into the right direction, but it's not there yet. It's just missing a few years of polishing, I would say, and a bit of more app compatibility here and there. Then it would definitely be able to take off as well. Where is it going? I think it's gone there. So hard to figure out this stuff. The winner for this is also not Vivo with their Origin OS that finally made it to the global market, even though it's a little bit changed and a little bit castrated on the global market still, so it's not the same feature-rich version that you get in China, but it's one step closer to this feature-rich version that you get in China. I have to rewatch this as well. It's not HyperOS free, even though some people know that have a soft spot for Xiaomi, and I really like the HyperOS operating system, especially also with version 3. The fluidity and design, the haptic motor and haptic features that they have is excellent actually, but it's not HyperOS free. It has some things that it's still lacking that it should take over. It's not Magic OS 10 that improved also a lot, but from the outside looks too much like a copycat of Apple's iOS. And some would say, what do you mean by too much? What about HyperOS? It's just like copying Apple since years. Yeah, but not this much. On the same level as Honor did this now with this liquid glass or frosted glass or whatever they did there. Yeah, some would say, yeah, they did it earlier, Windows Vista did it earlier, and Selfish OS did it even earlier, and maybe you find some glassy kind of thing even earlier than that on some kind of Linux distribution. It's missing the point. The whole user experience, this is why it's not only the operating system but also the user experience needs to be in there, and there's only one winner for me, and this is ColorOS 16 now. 15 was very good already, I would say one of the top ones there. I would even say even 15 would win this award, but 16 came out and it's even topping 15, which is like almost impossible to do because 15 was already so good. But yes, 16, ColorOS 16 is the winner, and I can tell you why. It's the fluidity of the system. It's the whole way the operating system is interacting with the humans. It feels like a fluid operating system. It means every action that you have, it's not just, no matter how small it is, it's showing some fluid animation from where you touched. It's not just like, yeah, you press that, I open up a window somehow. It is where you touch especially, and then it's showing a fluid animation so you know exactly where you tapped, exactly what's going on. It's just fantastic if you saw that. And they took it over as much as they could. So that means in every of their native apps that they ship by default, ColorOS 16, Chinese version of course, I didn't check out the global version so much to tell you about that. They have this, so if you have a text editor, if you have a notepad, the notes application, and you click on the plus button, it's not just swiping into a new page. No, that would be old school. It's just magnifying and opening the plus button to a new note. And you swipe back, it is just scaling down to the note in the list. Little of those little things here and there, not only the Notes app, certain other apps show how much love they put in, how much thought they put in to the interaction of the human user interface design. And this is what makes ColorOS so great, and this is why I love it. Those little things that Apple was once big in, still is big in, thinking about those little improvements in the system is something that ColorOS did so much so that I have to give it the award. Yes, Apple, well, some would try Apple, but Liquid ass, I just say. It's so user unfriendly. I have it, I switched jobs this year, by the way, and I have it on my work phone, which is an iPhone 16e. Yeah, pretty cheaped out a bit. I hope you didn't hear it. Anyway, iPhone 16e, I have iOS 20, what is it, 21.4 or something like this, the newest version are running. Yeah. There's a reason why the UI designer went away and why even people at Apple were not happy with the design, even though they released it finally. It's a user interface and user experience nightmare to maintain this in the future, I would say, especially with the one who's responsible for it, and I would really hit him with this, running away from the company and leaving his mess to other people, because it is really a bit of a mess kind of thing. It's hard, the readability is hard. They try to avoid it somehow. They try to make it like unified, but it's like, it is more and more getting like Android, where you have options to tweak and change things. That was not always Apple's way of doing things. They just give you one user interface. It was highly optimized, and you had to either eat it or change to another system, or in all completely. Anyway, so yeah, ColorOS 16 is the operating system, best operating system and user experience so far, no, not so far, this year in 2025. And I think I'm concluding now. If you're not sleepy right now, you should be, because this is almost half an hour video here. And if you have some comments, which one are your interesting, nice, maybe also suggestions for categories of things, smartphones, I don't know, maybe some people wish tablets. I don't test tablets so much. I use them for cutting videos, I have to say, because they're very efficient with this one. Faster than my laptops that I usually run with Linux, and they are not so much optimized for GPU encoding and decoding, especially encoding. Write it down in the comment section. If you totally disagree with me, you can. Don't write it in the comment section. Of course, write it in the comment section as well, but with a reason, not just, you stupid, the iPhone or Samsung is the best phone in the world. You can argue, I would say no, and you say, doch. I say no, doch, no, doch, oh. Anyway, it's dirty as well. What the fuck did... I have to clean it up. Hope you have a good time. Have a nice Christmas. Have a nice in-between Christmas and New Year's. And we will see each other then with other videos, smartphone tests, camera tests especially, in the new year. And this is everything for this video. And don't worry if you are like a bit bored, there are some videos coming out. I think there's another Vivo X300 Pro versus X100 Ultra video coming out pretty soon. I already did it. It's uploaded already. Just have to do some description to it, and then it will be also getting live, and I think the members already saw it. That's it for this video. Have a nice Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Until the next time. Bye. Oh, almost done here.